Hello everyone, this is Dissonant, and I'm commentating a game of AirMech here. It's been quite a long time since I've last commentated a game. Actually, the last time I did so, I believe, was when Stuart sent in his 4 games versus Squealer. But today I actually have 2 replays in the replay pool that was sent in like 2 days ago by Killer752. I'm quite enthusiastic about both of these games. The players present are pretty cool. In this game, at least, I do know all the players. Over here on the right team, we do have Killer752 playing the striker. He is the one, as I mentioned, who sent this replay in, and his teammate is Astrologer, who's a newer player, but someone that I've managed to become slightly acquainted with. He's actually first place right now in terms of ranked wins on the leaderboard, so yeah, props to him. He's been playing a lot. Team on the left in the green, and another 2 strikers here, is going to consist of Maor247, who's also playing a striker. I did mention he was playing a striker, but yeah, he's recently come back, carried me in a couple games, etc. And he's going to be playing along with BloodhoundXD, who's a player that I have managed to encounter twice in the while laddering. Actually, ironically, he was playing alongside Astrologer when I was teamed with Maor247. Not sure which game I'm gonna upload first. I am planning to upload the games we played in ladder, first-person commentary, but I'm not sure if this will be uploaded first or that. So both teams going for very routine early games, although the presence of neutralizing with Striker Sword is something new to AirMech that wasn't really a thing pre-strike. Both teams have moved into middle. Well, Killer752 is going a little heavy on the micro. Our green team seems to be a little more wanting to push. Though now they are going to fall back, though, seeing that there are a lot of new units here. Astrologer moving in with those Blade Guardians and the... Ooh, low health, but managing to land using his heal. Oh, wow! Okay. Killer752 giving him a lot of cover there. Wow, I'm surprised he survived that, especially the second time he lifted off. I almost expected both of them to die, actually. So the interesting thing is we had some Gemini production, actually, from the green team, which is worth noting because Gemini have been changed with the recent patch. They're no longer strictly a Longhorn side grade. Now they actually out-DPS Longhorns, but still lose to Longhorns for cost efficiency, but just slightly. So they're at a point now that I think where... they might be just overall slightly stronger than Longhorns, I guess. Because, yeah, they'll just barely lose to Longhorns in directly cost for cost. But on the other hand, they do have a lot of other advantages. And also, if you can drop Gemini behind the Longhorns, then you'll definitely have an advantage. So Astrologer, yeah, getting a lot done there. So our green team forced to sort of fall back from middle here. Maor and Bloodhound going down. Maor, oh my god, all this striker sorting. It's really hard to keep track of who's who, because normally, it's so weird, because we had 2 green team mechs in the middle of the... Oh my god, this unit clump, there's nothing left. We just had 2 green team mechs in the middle of the carbon team unit clump right next to their outpost. And you're like, normally that doesn't happen. Pre-strike, it'd be the other way around, where you'd have the 2 allied strikers in their unit clump next to their outpost, and the other guys would be elsewhere. Now it's actually, you look to see who's close to an army clump, and you say that's the enemy. Great. Yeah, I am of the opinion that mechs are too strong right now, but some people will argue that that's not true. Some people will argue that it comes down to personal preference, but if you look at this, it's a bunch of people playing strikers with Blade Guardians and power sorting in the middle of the enemy team. Yeah. I think that says something about the game, actually. But yeah, the carbon team's still in the lead here. They do have 2 generators in slightly risky spots, because if these do die, they will explode for some allied damage there. Won't be too much, but I think it'll be comparable to dropping like a bomb or so. So I'd actually sort of like to see the green team try to bomb these generators because they'd set off like a chain reaction. Killer752 neutralizing the outpost. Ouch. An astrologer coming. Why? Yeah, this is really confusing to me, actually. I'm just gonna say that because it's just the presence of mechs so close to other clumps, because normally you don't see a mech stay alive that long in the middle of the other clump. It's just confusing, especially since while they still have energy, they don't actually really take any damage, and so you don't even see their health bars dropping, and it's so weird. But yeah, basically it's just a bunch of players. It's just astrologer out of energy. He's not even power, so he was just meleeing with Blade Guardians, just walking around for a bit before switching to default attacks. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I would generally put the edge still for the Carbon team, despite all the trading that's been going on, although that could change. I mean, there's Gemini production coming from both teams now. That's interesting. Gemini should be theoretically slightly better versus mechs. On one hand, they are squishier per cost than Longhorns, because they have the same HP, but Gemini costs slightly more. But on the pro side, Gemini rotate slightly faster. Their turrets rotate faster, which will make them slightly better versus mechs, I believe. Although, because a lot of mechs do have high armor, I'm not exactly sure how Gemini end up trading. But actually, I think Gemini should trade even better without... I haven't done the math, but doing mental estimates in my head, I think Gemini should trade better than Longhorns, cost efficiency-wise now, versus mechs, even without accounting for the enhanced rotation speed. Apologies if you guys can hear the rain. One of my windows is open, and yeah, that might be really loud. Not sure how loud that rain is, but sorry if there's rain in the background. It's about to stop. Astrologer dying there, and Killer752. That means the green team has gotten a team wipe, which might give them better time to get some stuff done. Because yeah, historically, team wipes were basically the best thing that could happen to the enemy team. Of course, if you wiped the enemies, you were basically free to do a lot for a bit. But yeah, we're seeing both teams mixing both Longhorn and Gemini. I think there's just a bit of uncertainty right now which one is better, so people are just... Maybe one team is building Longhorn, one player is building Longhorn. So for this team, we have Astrologer building Gemini and Killer building Longhorns. On the other hand, Maor, not sure what he's building, but BloodhoundXD is building Gemini. I do have a slight theory in my head that perhaps Maor and Killer752 are still used to the old spam Longhorn meta, while Astrologer and BloodhoundXD, since they're newer, don't have quite the emotional attachment to Longhorns. Or maybe I should say they're just not as used to building Longhorns. So in the opportunity to build Gemini, where Gemini are probably slightly better statistically right now, they choose to build Gemini because they don't let their Killer752 awkwardly pausing there and allowing Maor's striker missiles to hit him. That was not optimal. Yeah, so I kind of wonder if Maor247 and Killer752 are kind of allowing their history to with Longhorns to kind of cloud their judgment. So instead of building Gemini, which are, I think, slightly superior right now, they're building Longhorns. Because yeah, Longhorns will out-trade Gemini by a tiny margin, from what I hear from some math that was conducted by Stewart and Overkill. But it's not very significant. I mean, even before it wasn't too significant. Now it's even less significant. And also, as I mentioned, I believe they're slightly better versus mechs. I'll have to double-check that math myself, especially since different mechs have different armor values, actually. But I think the median armor value, the lowest armor values are the Neo. I think the Neo actually trades I think the Gemini would be definitely stronger versus the Neo than the Longhorn. That's my guess, at least. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, because Longhorn piercing is at like 90, Gemini piercing is like 65, Neo armor is like 70, the medium tier of mech armor is like 75, then you have some 80 armor mechs like the Paladin and probably the Warthog. But yeah, honestly, the game has sort of devolved into a stalemate. Neither team can really push too much. They are transitioning to Goliath and Gorgon, but besides that, actually, I'm really curious why Bloodhound is still making Gemini, not Goliaths. Same. Okay, so astrologer. Curious what he's building. I think he's building Goliaths. Okay, apologies once again for the rain. It's getting really loud now, I think. But no, astrologer just scouting around, trying to see are there moneymakers, are there whoppers? Can I kill them? But no, there's no moneymakers, no whoppers, no bot spawners. So on the other hand, these two generators are still alive. We have Killer752 trying to conduct a drop over here, but realizing he got spotted retreating. But yeah, just a bunch of players. Ooh, Killer752 has found an opening. He is being pursued by Bloodhound and Maor to a lesser extent. Astrologer, on the other hand, pursuing Bloodhound. Okay, so this is yeah, but Killer managed to actually get the units off. So a little fort damage going on. Gemini versus the fort. Not on the corners, unfortunately. The Gemini would benefit from the corner armor decrease because of the piercing value, unless that was changed, but I'm pretty sure it's still 65. Okay, so astrologer low health here, getting focused down. Oh, trying to Viking dance here. Killer752 is here to back up his ally now. Astrologer dying though on the ground, getting picked off by BloodhoundXD. So yeah, I think overall, if we look at the stats, Maor247 and BloodhoundXD definitely have the superior mech fighting, because they have 5 kills to... I mean, they've killed their opponent. The opponents have 9 deaths, and they only have 3 between them, which is pretty cool. On the other hand, they have the disadvantage map-wise because they have less upkeep, and the reason they have less upkeep is because they have less outposts, and they aren't building walkers either, which is weird. They actually have devastators out in the field. Normally I'd kind of question this, but I mean, they are at a point where they are sort of short on upkeep, so I guess I can see a motivation to build devastators. But on the other hand, I'd honestly like to see whoppers and Goliaths right now, because I think whopper and Goliath would still be the superior choice right now. On the other hand, Maor is floating quite a bit, so I could see him building devastators and being fine. Bloodhound, I think, though, should be building Goliaths. I think both players, if you look at their loadouts, though, seem to be more inclined to be building Goliath. So right now, because neither one has Devastator still in their loadout, so I think they decided let's build one Devastator and then go back to Goliath production. Neither has okay. Now actually, Maor is starting Whopper production. On the other hand, Astrologer and Killer752, neither of them have started any Whopper production, which I find interesting. Maor is starting to sell off Gemini to free up more upkeep, in addition to create. Ooh, is that nuke beacons? 2 nuke beacons actually. That's interesting. Why are there nukes? I don't see them in the loadout. So it looks like the loadouts are a little glitched up, so these may not be accurate. BloodhoundXD, yeah, getting a lot... running out of energy, just staying in melee range with the Blade Guardians. Blade Guardians were nerfed recently, but I kind of wonder if they need to be nerfed again. Because if a player can just... if a mech can just stay there, walking around with their Blade Guardians a bit, that's kind of... This could be risky, that second... I mean, okay, I guess the idea is that... Well, this nuke isn't going to go off, because... Especially since... Yeah, Killer found that, killed it. Where's the other beacon? That's the question, because there has... I mean, where's the other nuke? It's over here. Okay, so that's not in any danger right now. But... So... I'm not sure which beacon correlates to this one, but... the green team... I was going to say, the green team better hope it was this nuke. Unfortunately, it wasn't, so it only took out, like, 2 units. I don't think that was cost-productive. At least it killed something. It's better than losing the other one instantly, but still. Meanwhile, Astrologer pushing out another set of Goliaths over here. They are going to head over to this outpost. They might succeed in the absence of the green team, since they are busy defending their fort. On the other hand, they're about to be done with this, and they also have their own pretty strong defense. Actually building up a lot of Gemini, and I guess as a last-second defense, what I honestly feel like Goliaths would have been better. But they are going to count. I think they are going to. Yeah, they are going to take back this outpost soon. On the other hand, they did move the Devastator away from this outpost, so that is going to open up a opportunity for the Carbon team to take that outpost temporarily. And I don't think they're going to be able to sustain it very long. On the other hand, there are some more Goliaths pushing in over here, preventing this outpost from going green permanently. It's going to go carbon temporarily, actually. This is actually neutral temporarily, too. One interesting thing about mechs being this strong right now is that outposts just keep on swinging back and forth. I mean, they don't even really swing most of the time. A lot of the time, they just stay neutral for a while because players are unable to get creeps in them long enough to really actually keep the outpost under their control. This outpost has turned green. No, it's turned gray again. Completely neutralized once again. One creep in here for the carbon team again. It is dead again. Meanwhile, this outpost has gone carbon. There is a bunch of defensive units there. No anti-air though, but I do foresee this staying either carbon or... this is going to get neutralized almost instantly, although a Devastator was able to exit the queue. The Devastator is going to go push on Y-words, which is interesting. And actually, I should probably clarify my terminology, because Y and T moving is no longer the same as it used to be, because those changed. And also, even when it was valid for PC players, for keyboard and mouse players, the controller players didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, that Devastator melting pretty fast to the Blade Guardians. I do believe Blade Guardians do need a slight nerf. I mean, another slight nerf. Maybe not just a slight nerf, maybe a major nerf. Because it's weird, because before in the past, you didn't see Strikers go for Blade Guardians a lot of time. Most of the time they went for Blaster Guardians. The idea was to kill mechs in the air. You could usually get more done that way. But now you actually see Strikers going Blade Guardians, a lot of them just landing in the middle. Even when they run out of energy, they're just standing there letting their Blade Guardians do the damage. The Power Sword and Shield, I guess, is less strictly for the damage and more for the fact that it gives you a lot of defensive stats, because it allows you to take damage via energy instead of damage via health. So it allows you to stay on the field longer and do some damage with your Blade Guardians. So yeah, it looks like the green team has retaken their 2 outposts, although I wouldn't say they've solidified their positions. On the other hand, I can't exactly say the carbon team has solidified their positions either. They are starting to move into Devastator production, astrologer specifically. Killer752, not exactly sure what he's making right now, but I would assume I think he's still on Goliath. Maor247 here landing there with the Power Sword. I think he is going to escape, actually. No. Getting killed by Striker missiles on top of the outpost. Ouch. But yeah, right now, Double Striker is definitely a very strong team comp, which, oh, okay. Green team getting wiped here, although Mao is going to respawn soon, but still, this is not good for the green team, especially since a bunch of Goliaths have arrived at their new outpost. So it looks like the carbon team is just going to try to keep up this aggression, take advantage of the fact that they do have more outposts to try to continuously pump units towards the green team, take this outpost temporarily, then move on Y maybe, and just try to do some more fort damage each time perhaps, or maybe they're going to try to solidify their position here this time, not move on, and just trying to take it and go 4 outposts versus 1. Looks like the green team is actually going to kind of try to counter push here, take this outpost which has nothing on it. Killer752 getting taken down by Maui here. So yeah, it looks like the carbon team is going to be not in a very good position to defend this right now, although a Devastator is almost complete. Still, 1 Devastator and 1 Goliath with 1 mech versus... oh no, these green team units have actually been rerouted towards this defenseless outpost, taking advantage of the fact that actually the Devastator... where was the Devastator is still in the queue. Astrologer has kept that prepared just in case they change their targets, just in case maybe they take this, maybe they... looks like the Killer752 is pushing out with the units in this outpost. There isn't too much to defend actually from the green team, although there are bot spawners, there are tier 4 creeps spawning from them specifically, and of course there's still 2 mechs which are very, very powerful. This outpost has gone neutral temporarily. I think Astrologer is going to try to retake this, going to re-grab these creeps because he only had 3 grab temporarily. I think he should consider binding the specialized pickup only button, because there is you can bind a key to do that. I have it at V personally because it's close to space, so that way you don't have to drop all your units to pick up a new unit. Maybe he does have it already binded, I'm not sure. The Gorgons can attack the fort actually, they are doing a lot of damage, along with the Devastators and Goliaths, so I think this is going to be the end of the game, and this is the end of the game here. And so the Carbon team, after a very long match, 18 minutes and 46 seconds, managed to win this match, despite the fact that they were dying a lot more often than BloodhoundXD and Maor247. Their early outpost advantage and was just enough, I guess, to help them win the game, just overwhelm their opponents, especially since Maor247 and BloodhoundXD never really built Whoppers. It definitely helped the Carbon team because of that disparity in upkeep.